We're going to be doing an unboxing of a 2026 Hydroglove suit. I am very excited about doing this kind of unboxing. I have resisted trying to open up this box right here until I could get all of the film equipment set up for me to record everything. I had the original Hydroglove suit, and for those that don't really know what a Hydroglove suit is, a Hydroglove is a reproduction suit using kind of new materials of the original Totes Drysuit. And a Totes Drysuit was basically a two-piece drysuit that had a top that was basically hood, sleeves, and it came down a little bit past kind of your waist, and then basically pants that had the feet attached that kind of came up, and then you would roll them together to create a seal to be dry when you were driving. And the original ones were done about in the 1950s and 1960s, and of course, with all the modern day advancements, they've kind of gone to the wayside. They haven't been produced in, ages now. However, another company called Hydroglove started reproducing those, and I've owned several of those. I would eventually, dive it to the point where they would get a tear so badly that I'd have to go and purchase another one, but I love diving in them. And unfortunately, the original Hydroglove guy passed away very unexpectedly and kind of left a void, and another company bought out all of his molds, all of the tanks that held all of the rubber for the mold making, and tried to redo it, and had ups and downs. I originally placed an order with one of those, this was years and years ago, and I waited like 3 years, it felt like, and eventually ended up kind of canceling my order. Didn't have any issues, getting a refund, all that, but then I never even thought about ordering again. And then a few months ago, I noticed he made a post saying, hey, I have changed how I've done handling all of my businesses. If there is a suit that's available on the webpage, you can go ahead and order it and I will ship it to you. If it is not on the website, it is not available. Don't even attempt. And I happened to look, and sure enough, there was a suit that was in my size, both the top and the bottom, and had to do it. Actually, in fact, my significant other decided to actually get it for me as a gift, and was ordered, and within, I think, probably 3 days, maybe 4, it was at our doorstep, and here it is. So I am looking forward to doing a unboxing of this and showing you everything that's inside of the new Hydroglove. I'll give you kind of a review since I rolled the previous one to say, hey, does it match up with quality? Is it as good as the original Hydroglove? Is it worse? Is it worth your time? I honestly don't know. I have not looked at it yet, but I am very excited to do this. I'm having my fingers crossed that this is just as good as the previous one. So let me go ahead and switch things over. I can go ahead and get this open up and ready to kind of go. I think I can open it here. And actually, let's do this so you guys can see a little bit better as far as this goes. So here we go. Here is the suit. Make sure I get this a little bit centered for you guys. And it looks like we got a couple of things. We have their fun little bag right here, which I remember that came actually with the very first one. I don't know if the glare, there we go. Glare is a little bit off over there, but there we go. We have the Hydroglove Drysuit. I have I think one of these bags still for one of my original suits with this. And then we have the pants, and then we have the jacket all in their little kind of bags with all of this. So excellent. I'm going to kind of put this aside over here. And it looks like we got his business card and a little thank you note on this. So very cool for that. I am just going to set that back in the box so I don't kind of lose it. And let's go ahead and kind of take a look at this. I don't know if I need to zoom in any, but we'll go ahead and zoom in just a touch so you can kind of see this. But here is the pants. This is the jacket. My bad. Jacket. Getting a little bit carried away. So here is the jacket. Kind of open this up so we can kind of take a look at everything. So far, this feels very familiar to the original jackets that I've had in the past. I do remember these creases being there that once you start diving. I do notice one other thing that I'm not going to nitpick about. I'm actually going to laugh about more than anything else. I'm going to try to zoom in. But because these are molded, they're dipped in basically a vat of liquid rubber over and over again, and they're kind of pulled up and down, so it builds up a layer of latex over time. And my very first suit had this exact same, I want to call it splash line, where they've dipped it a few different times. So I'm going to kind of laugh that it's basically there. I don't expect these suits to be exactly perfect. They're, supposed to be vintage kind of recreation. So they're going to have, I want to say that 50s, 60 style of, I want to say, imperfections on them. All of my previous ones were never perfect, especially around some of these seams. I could tell that's where they kind of, around some of these seams, they would sometimes kind of gum up. I don't notice any extra on this as well. I can tell they kind of cut some of the things right here, but they would get a couple extra things up on that. Let me go ahead and I'll zoom out a little bit as I kind of finish inspecting all of this. But I don't notice any kind of, like, I want to say, like, tears or blemishes. I can, just see like the standard little marks. It looks like it has been covered with a kind of like a powder mar on it. So it should be good that way. I do notice one thing right up over here where there is that, like I said, on some of these seams, that they get a little bit of extra bit of rubber on it. I can see right here. I'm sure that it might seem like a little zit or whatnot, but you can see right there. So there's a couple little areas that you're going to have some kind of blemishes, it looks like. I can't tell if that one is cracking or not, but it doesn't seem like it's going all that bad. I mean, it seems okay on this side. So I meant kind of expected that way. So go ahead and zoom out just a little bit more on this. There we go. So I meant overall, not bad. I'm very happy about this. I'm hoping the pants are going to be kind of exactly the same way as far as everything goes. Put the bag right there for right now. Same thing, these over here are just kind of the same kind of, there's the same rubber. They're basically like kind of socks and stuff. It has the, I don't know if I should zoom in, but it has the, I want to say, old school Hydroglove kind of banding where they would say, hey, here's where this, who made it. You can see where they have that kind of thing on there like this, and it has the size large. So that's kind of neat little, I want to say, somewhat of an add-on. I do remember this strip on my previous ones where you can tell that's kind of a seam thing. Likewise, the fold thing. I do see more of the extra kind of bubbly on this. Overall, though, I don't see anything that screams that this is not good. This feels even to how I remember the very first time. Let's try maybe just putting a little bit of air into it, see what it does with the legs, just for some quick little, oh yeah, look at that. Yep. You can tell they're definitely not perfect. I see another little mark right here as far as stuff goes. Time will tell, that will be an issue on that spot right there. But overall, I remember they were imperfections. I am not unhappy with this. I'm being a little bit nitpicky about stuff. Remember asking about everything. These suits were definitely not perfect when I first ordered them from the original guy. So I don't expect perfections out of this. Especially as far as the cost goes. So I'm being a little bit more, I think, nitpicky than anything else. Just as long as it keeps me dry, that's all I really kind of care about. And I put it on for the first time. I don't have any rips or seams or any of that. So I think I'm at the point now where I probably could, put it on and do a full demonstration, as it were. Sadly enough, this table is kind of in the way for me for doing that. So I don't think I will necessarily put it on all the way. But maybe what I will kind of do real quick for, the sakes of everything, is I could probably just toss in the top over just for kind of a quick little get-go. I want to make sure I don't hit my mic, so I'm going to kind of pull off the mic, so I apologize if I end up clicking on it or making it sound really bad. I'll fix that up later, but I'll set the mic down, throw on the hood real quick, and then we'll take a gander at that, pull it off, and I'll give you kind of my final impressions of the 2026 Hydroglove. So, make sure I don't hit that. Let's make sure that is face forward.
Ouchie.
Right. All right. Well, got the top on at least. That's probably about as far as I'm going to go, so that way I'm not accidentally kicking my table and stuff. But yeah, I can tell when I was putting on, there's definitely air that kind of put up there. Doesn't mean it doesn't have any leaks, but I meant it fits. Put it on, no rips or anything. Overall, I have to say, for first impressions, pretty good. I will see if I can't get into this water soon for us to give me a full opinion on everything. I can also tell I'm going to have to trim around the opening a little bit. It's kind of giving me a little bit of blinders over here on the side. So I'll kind of modify it a little bit, make sure it's ready for me to be fully diving. But yeah, there you go. There's a 2026 Hydroglove for you. And I would have to say, if you're a vintage diver and want to try to go back into the old school dry suits, that wouldn't be that bad to give it a go.